didn't come out quite like I hoped. WrestleMania itself, I've said it over and over. I made a mistake. I lost. It was my opportunity to have my moment in front of the crowd to win my title back, and I made a mistake. The next night, I owned that mistake. Said I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my rematch, my singles match. I'll jump through any hoops. Braun got all offended because he won one match and decided he was front of the line. So we suddenly the number one contenders match. Myself, Randy, Braun. I earned my rematch, my singles rematch. Braun kept sticking his nose in my business, prevented that singles match, turned into a triple threat and lost it for me. And Lashley's going to do whatever it takes to avoid fighting Drew McIntyre one-on-one, especially after last week when it happened with the Claymore. I was about to beat him again, and Braun stuck his nose in again. So Monster's got to watch his back because McIntyre's going to take him out and I'm going to get that singles rematch. But Kofi, if you want it first, you've earned it.
Big man, not to harp on a moment, but you made maybe one little mistake that kind of like ultimately led to you losing that triple threat match, brother. I just want to get into your mindset and what you're feeling. How do you take this in? You know, how do you move forward? How do you progress? How do you get back to that mountaintop?
I need to get a singles match. I'm perfectly aware of what happens in triple threat matches. I thought I'd taken out Lashley, but realistically, he's a Terminator. Even though I put him through the LED screen, taking out 99% of the roster doesn't mean you've taken out Lashley. Braun and I went down, continued to wrestle for another 6 minutes or so. I was hitting Michinoku drivers, taking the world's stiffest senton. Overhead on the floor, powerbomb through the table. Like, we continued and had a singles match, essentially. I was in that match about 95% of the time, like I mentioned earlier. And just when I least expected it, I hit the Claymore. Match would have been won in a singles. There's Lashley following the rules. It's a triple threat match. I can't fault him. Pitched me out the ring, took advantage of my Claymore, won the match. So I don't know what else to say. I need that singles match. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll jump through any hoops. If anyone thinks they deserve it more than Drew McIntyre after the last year and a half I've had, fight me. That's all you have to do. Get in the ring with me, beat me, then you jump ahead of me. It's as simple as that.
Well, you've got plenty of gentlemen that you have to worry about on your way back to that title, but we've seen another face reemerge on the red brand, and that is one Mr. Jinder Mahal. And he was actually on our show this past Sunday afternoon, and we asked him what he thought about a potential clash with you. And this is what he had to say.
So my problem is not with Drew. My problem is with the idea that Drew McIntyre was celebrated as a champion, like he overcame such enormous odds. Let's back it up. Me and Drew were a part of 3MB together.
Yep.
Me and Drew got released the exact same day. I made it back to WWE faster, better. I became WWE champion faster than Drew McIntyre, yet I wasn't celebrated. I was called the experiment. So I showed Drew the way. I laid the blueprint down for Drew. Drew followed the same game plan that I did.
Wow.
Come back, best shape possible, target the biggest guy, make an impact. But here we are.
All right, Drew. So we just want to get your reaction to those words.
I haven't had a chance to see that. Yeah, that's the first time I've actually got eyes on it. It's been a pretty crazy weekend. Jinder has been pretty funny recently since he got his injury. He is one of my closest friends in the world, but he has been a little bit off since he got hurt. We've not talked to each other, seen each other as much. And it's interesting that's been going on in his head. I mean, I guess technically he has a point. We got fired on the same day, and we didn't quite go the same path. I instantly got out there in the independent scene, reinvented myself, reinvented what it meant to be an independent wrestler outside of WWE. And Jinder flew under the radar, got signed back to WWE because of the brand split. They needed bodies who knew how to work television. And he saw this as, this is my opportunity. I'm going to make this count. And he did. He got himself in shape. He put the work in. Like I tell everyone, you can do it within the system. Just bust your butt. Look at Jinder. He got to the top, won the title, and people weren't exactly thrilled. But he did it in 2017. And it was an additional 3 years, even though I'm very proud of everything I did during that time outside of WWE in NXT. It did take me 3 years later, and people did, react positively to my journey. So I guess he has a legitimate gripe. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see that. And honestly, he's been at Raw the past couple of weeks, and he's kind of been ducking me. So
wow. Let's go.
Makes sense now.
Let's go.
Maybe I need to find him this week and have a little chat.
Oh,
Seems like
okay.
there's a little bit of tension going on here.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll let that one lay there. And Drew, you know, we talk about it all the time. You know, you're on top of everything, whether it's you think we take you too late in a mock draft or, you know, or what others are saying about you or how many bump appearances you have. It's incredible, especially
Where
Drew.
was I in the actual draft?
Hey, listen,
That's
Sixth round. These guys.
I had you at number 1.
Sixth round.
I still blame Xavier Woods for that. The Drew Day can talk about that on Monday.
Drew will hash it out.
Yeah. But Drew, I mean, given your schedule, especially the last year and a half, I marvel that you're so on top of everything. Do you feel the need to be that tapped in, or are you really just the bump's biggest fan?
I do love the bump, and I appreciate all you are so passionate and knowledgeable about the industry. I'm exactly the same. And, you know, we all feel the same about this. If we get the opportunity to talk about WWE, about wrestling in general, then it's a good day. And if y'all will have me on, I'll talk about what we all love, and that's wrestling. And obviously there's no filter. There's nothing we can't talk about. There's nothing we can't say here. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a good time. Obviously, you know, the past years afforded me a lot of opportunities to, do everything virtually now. It's good to see you all together. I can't wait to be there live in person. But I've been doing so much stuff on my free days every single day for the past year, be it media, charity, or just like interviews in general. And I love every single one. I don't see it as work. This is my dream job. And sitting here talking to you all right now, how can I consider this work? I'm literally living my dream right now. And I'll be living my dream for real when I get my singles match with Lashley and I have my title back in my hands. So I can wave it around like I usually do.
That's right. As if you didn't have enough on your plate, you know, going after WWE Championship. You recently wrote a memoir, your book right here, brother, A Chosen Destiny, man, and it's really great. It's a really great read. I'm halfway through it right now, and it's one of
this old thing.
And like we see other superstars like the great Mick Foley, who's had other literary exploits as well. Do you think this could lead to some things down the road for you, sir? Could you think a little bit more? Could we get a little more coming down the road from the great Drew McIntyre?
Maybe. I just think it's crazy that I have a book in the first place. The first book I ever read, cover to cover, was Mick Foley's Have a Nice Day. I probably should have read more books before that. I've mentioned in the past. I was about 13, 14 at the time. And, you know, obviously I had English essays to write. But you can write Death of a Salesman, just skimming through the thing. But the first book I ever read, like cover to cover, was legit Have a Nice Day by Mick Foley. I read every WWE book, every wrestling book you can get your hands on. And my release of my actual book, my own book, I have a book, it's crazy, surreal. Mick Foley presented the virtual meet and greet, which was absolute bananas to me. I didn't think, you know, what the world needs right now is a Drew McIntyre book, the Scottish wrestler book. It was brought to my attention. Hey, Drew, you're pretty open about your story and all the interviews you do, about all the difficult obstacles you've had to overcome. Would you be willing to put them down in a book and maybe help some people out there? And I talked to the missus about it and said, all right, this is a good idea. If we can help somebody, I'm willing to do it, but I really want to just tell it all, like not hold back whatsoever. And especially during these times we've been living in the past year, for somebody who's like in a dark place and they maybe read my book and see something I've gone through when I was at rock bottom and know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel no matter what you're going through, and I can help just that one person. That's what it's all about. It was written for everybody, not just WWE fans, not just wrestling fans. I've simplified everything, made it for everybody, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. But it's just mental that I have a book.
Well, congratulations. We're all excited to read it. Now, Drew, we're going to bring someone on right now. And
Peter Piper, I knew it.
He's on vacation, I think. We called him.
Although you did briefly move ahead of him for title of most appearances on the bump, this now means that you are both, once again, tied.
10-10.
Damn you, Drake.
Yeah, I'm coming to you from a very dark place, so here I am. I'm here to get a free copy of your book and bust your numbers on the bump. So there we go.
Amazing.
Dare you.
Sorry. Well, they told me to do it. I mean, they're desperate, so they always call me when they're desperate. So here I am.
I say earlier, we all talk about, you know, the thing we love right now and how passionate we all are. To be fair to Spud here, to Drake here, he is the most passionate, knowledgeable man in wrestling. Then I'll put you over, stay off the show for a while so I can get my numbers up.
No, bro, you are looking amazing since I last seen you. I mean, I hope you've got your gallon, bro. I hope you're looking on your macros. You're doing all that stuff.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
But, no, I I was listening to everything Drew was saying, and I was laughing and I was rejoicing, especially like all that stuff of like his appearance on a bump where he won the Royal Rumble, and over the past year, and everything that's gone on in the world, and releasing your book. Everything you've done over the last year has been absolutely incredible for this company and the WWE universe, and I hope everybody does appreciate that, because you're the best, dude.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember from British wrestling, there was a